My brothers and sisters, you are now watching the Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video.
I really did not think they would do that. I really did not think that they would do that. Like, there were rumors that AMC might pull a dick move and actually end this junk off on a cliffhanger, but I was like, AMC would not do that. This season has been going too good for them to end the season off like that.
Cliffhanger, hanging from a cliff, and that's why he's called Cliffhanger.
These bastards actually did it. They actually did it, bruh. The rumors were right. Literally, bruh, when that whole scene was over and then it went to dark, I was like, what happened? And then it said next time. I'm like, are you? They really did it. They literally, I was screaming at, you know what? Because I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I ain't reading jack. I'm not going through none of these notes because really, they ain't jack else to talk about aside from what AMC decided to do. You pussied out, AMC. AMC, always more cliffhanger. That's what people around the world are saying. Always more cliffhangers. I honestly did not think they would do that because those rumors were out that AMC might pull a dick move and do some cliffhanger freaking behind ending. But I was like, why would they end off the best season, in my opinion, in the entire TV series of The Walking Dead? This season has been freaking really good, and I thought that they would end it off, have the balls to end it off the way it was supposed to be ended off. Not only was the acting top notch, Lord have mercy, the acting in that whole sequence when Negan is finally introduced, Jeffrey Dean Morgan playing Negan, my God, he freaking nailed that role without the cursing too. Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan, I really dug his role. He was acting his behind. Andrew freaking Lincoln, Rick Grimes. I ain't never seen dude look so petrified in my life. Literally, Rick was shaking in freaking fear. This man looked absolutely terrified. A deer caught in headlights. Hopeless. I was like, yo. I was like, I ain't never seen Rick look this terrified. He was looking at code. Like, I don't know what's about to happen. Like, the acting in that whole scene with, between Rick, Negan, Glenn, Maggie, everybody came with it. Everyone was acting their behind off. The whole music that they was playing in the background, it was just subtle enough to hear it. Dude, that scene was so tense. I was at the edge of my seat the whole freaking time, literally heart pounding like, suckers, y'all done messed up. Because just like I was saying, if you're Negan, you can make the case that Rick is the bad guy. How many saviors has Rick and his group killed so far? I lost count. So if you're Negan, you're completely justified in whatever you're about to do. Yes, he's the villain in our eyes, but in his eyes, Rick is the villain. Rick came to one of his bases and killed some of his men. More men than I'm comfortable with. So he had to do something, but I honestly thought that they would at least show, because I honestly thought two main characters were going to die in this episode. At least one. I thought they would actually show one of the deaths in this episode. And literally, AMC, you had it in the palm of your freaking hands. You had us all at the edge of our seats. You had us all by the balls or all by the freaking vagina. And you literally pulled a cliffhanger. You pulled a cliffhanger. I don't know who decided that this was the right move to do. I don't know who directed this episode, who wrote this. I don't know if it's Scott Gimple. Whoever decided that this was a good move. Let's end off this season with a let's end off this season with a cliffhanger, and then they'll they'll all, come back for the next season. I don't know who decided to make this move, but literally we need to play eeny, meeny, miny, mo with all of the people at AMC because you had all the cards on the freaking table. And you literally ruined one of the most iconic, one of the biggest moments in The Walking Dead in the comic book. And you pulled a cliffhanger with it instead. You should have at least showed who he killed. All they had to do was show Negan, Lucille, and whoever it was. I thought it was going to be Glenn or Daryl. Most likely it's going to be Glenn, but you should have showed that scene, showed how gruesome he was killing freaking Glenn or Daryl with Lucille, show the whole thing, show people crying, showing Rick like freaking helpless, and then all you had to do was fade to black. That's all. That's really all you had to do. And that's the thing. Before this episode aired, I'm so passionate right now. Before this episode aired, some of the cast was saying when they were reading the script that it was so dark and so like, oh my God, that some of them actually dropped the script multiple times and had a hard time trying to come into work. So I'm expecting this freaking amazing jaw-dropping ending, not something like this. Some people, well, I was in a podcast last night and they had actually brought up that they actually probably shot that whole scene the right way, but towards the end they decided to cut some stuff out and pull this BS cliffhanger. If that's what they did, you're idiots. There's no other way around it, bruh. There is no other way around it, because the majority of this episode was what? Rick and company driving off in circles, because every time that they would choose a different direction to take, they keep on going, and then towards the end of the road, you see some saviors like the saviors were out on every direction you look, suckers, just lurking, squatted up like, what's up? And every time Rick seen him, he was like, turn around. He would choose a different direction every time. It didn't matter which way this man, Rick, and them decided to take. You had saviors like, what's up, Rick? And literally, it was that freaking commercials galore that killed the vibe. Sometimes I'm like, son, you gotta stop with all of these freaking commercials. It was going around in circles, a whole bunch of commercials. Carol being probably the most annoying that I've ever seen her. She was just really annoying to me in this episode. Even Morgan, for crying out loud, finally stopped saying all life is precious. He actually killed somebody because he had to. This episode, I don't want to say it's bad, because some people are saying this episode was a 1 out of 10. This episode was not a 1 out of 10. But literally, just because of what you freaking suckers decided to do towards the very end, this episode could have been, I wouldn't say a 10 out of 10. This episode could have been like a 9 out of 10. But just because of what you suckers pulled, I gotta give this junk, with the going around in circles, commercials galore, Carol being annoying, I gotta give this junk a 6.5, bro. Maybe a 7. And it's mostly due to Negan's introduction and how good Jeffrey Dean Morgan really pulled off his role without all the F-bombs in every freaking sentence. I ain't gonna curse. But you done messed it up, AMC, bro. This is literally we are going to remember this moment and say this is where AMC effed it up, bro. They effed it up right here because they decided to pull a cliffhanger. And really, what's the purpose of doing the cliffhanger? Is it to get more people into watching the next season? What's the point of that? You know people are going to watch The Walking Dead. It's one of the top shows, maybe the top show on TV right now in terms of ratings. One of the top shows. And why pull a cliffhanger? Why? Like, we have to wait 6 months just to see who dies. So now we have to wait get back to that scene and then pull us all back into where we felt like how we felt last night. You should have ended it all off in that very scene, bro. You had us all right there. We were in the palm of your hands. Just freaking finish it. Finish your freaking job. You know when you watching like a good porn scene? You know when like you watching like a good scene and it's like, oh my god, this junk is good. And right before you about to release, you hear your door open up. And it's just like, what? That is how this episode was. You didn't finish it off. You didn't finish it, bruh. Man, that junk pisses me off to no end. They had Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5, for Christ's sake. They had Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5 for crying out loud. You know when you got Trevor in one of your shows, something is bound to go down. So it's just like, you had it all, bro. You had it all lined up. And it's just, they didn't finish it. They just didn't finish it. Someone decided over at AMC that it would be a better idea to end this junk off on a cliffhanger. And I don't know who said, you know what? You're right. Let's do it. I don't know who decided that would be a good move, but it does nothing different. Like, it's not going to get more and more and more people that I think into the next season. People are going to watch The Walking Dead if they want to. Some people say the show is boring, but a lot of people watch this show. It's one of the top shows on TV. There's really no purpose behind a cliffhanger, in my opinion. There's no purpose to having us wait 6 months just to see who gets killed. We all know the next season is going to be Rick going against Negan. We all know that. There's nothing that doing a cliffhanger, you know, sets us up for what's going to happen. And see, there's no reason behind it. There's really no reason. There's no reason that I can think behind it, bruh. Not cool. Matter of fact, that is so uncool. It's just, oh man. But anyways, before I right now, this has been a ramble video. I know I'm rambling. I know I'm ranting, but you have to understand. But anyways, and I thought, like, during that whole scene to where he finally hit him and he was like, man, he's taking it like a champ. I was like, show me. But he kept on hitting you free. Yo, there is spit all over this time. I was like, show me. And it was just like, you just heard it like, he was just going in with Lucille. You heard cries off in the distance, but when that junk faded to black, and then it said, next week, Fear the Walk. First of all, I am not watching Fear the Walking Dead anymore. I'm not watching anything AMC related just because of what you suckers decided to do last night. I am not watching no Fear the Walking Dead anymore. Freak that shit. Freak that show. I swear to God, when that junk went to black and then it said next Sunday on Fear the Walking Dead, I was like, nope. I turned off The Talking Dead. I ain't watched that. I'm not watching Fear the Walking Dead. I'm literally boycotting AMC until the freaking Walking Dead comes back on. I am not watching nothing AMC related. I'm not watching no marathons. I ain't watching no Fear the Walking Dead. I ain't watching no comic book man. I'm not watching anything, bro. How could you do that? How, Sway? You really messed it up. You really messed it up, bro. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. This is the only moment. Because y'all have to remember, I don't watch a lot of shows out there. I've yet to watch Breaking Bad. Yeah, I know. Kill me. I've yet to watch Game of Thrones. This is literally the only TV show at this current moment that I am really into. So you could probably see why I'm like really I'm really passionate right now of what these suckers decided to do. I don't know who decided that this would be a good choice. I don't know if it was Scott Gimple. I don't know if it was Kirkman. I don't know who it was, but whoever decided that this is how they was going to end off season 6, you should be shot. you should be played eeny, meeny, miny, mo with. And whoever it lands on, you getting Lucille. If that's is what it comes down to, like I could go on and on and on and on and on, but pretty much this cliffhanger sucked. It just kills me because that whole sequence, bro, the introduction of Negan. How creepy it was when the wolves, I mean not the freaking wolves, how creepy it was when they had, oh my god, Maggie, she looked so terrible, bro, but when they had her on a stretcher and they were going through the woods and then you just heard that whistling, it's just like like that whole scene was so creepy to where they started whistling off in like the trees. The saviors are always somewhere lurking in the trees, bro. Every time it's just like you start to hear the whistling, and they have Maggie on a stretcher. What the freak can you do? Literally helpless, bro. And Rick just looked absolutely terrified. Like there was nothing he could do. You're surrounded by, like, I don't know, freaking 50 plus saviors, Negan, Lucille. What can you do? They have Daryl, they have Glenn, they got you, they got Michelle. You're done. There was nothing you could do. And all they had to do was finish it off. But they decided to pull a They decided to pull a cliffhanger. They decided to pull a cliffhanger, bro. That was the ending to this season. They really could have, they could have capped this junk off if they just showed a little bit more. They could have capped off this season, freaking amazing season. Season 6 was freaking amazing. But it's like, it's going to always be a sour taste in our mouths now, because this was a season that was really good. But when you think season 6, you're always going to think this cliffhanger, and it's going to leave a sour taste in our mouths, bro. So AMC, I hope one of y'all get Lucille. And that's really all I have to say. What did you guys think about how they decided to end off the finale to season 6, man? Do you not have a problem with it, with the cliffhanger? Do you agree with everything that I said? You know, what did you think as Jeffrey Dean Morgan playing Negan? What did you think about the acting? What do you think is going to happen in the next season? Leave all that down in the comment section below. There's literally nothing for me to watch on TV aside from ESPN with basketball, because I'm not watching jack. I'm literally not. I actually might try to finally get into Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones and Daredevil on Netflix. I got to get a Netflix account first, but might try to get into those shows. But Fear the Walking Dead, not watching it. I refuse to support anything AMC. I refuse to support anything AMC related until we get the closure to freaking what's supposed to happen in the last freaking episode. But anyways, before I continue to ramble, I'll catch you guys in my next video. As always, I greatly appreciate if you rate the video, my brothers and sisters. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up. It could be a thumbs down. But what I do ask every brother and every sweet, sweet sister is to just rate the video, my brothers and sisters. So saying that, catch y'all on my next one, bro.